On last week's episode, I talked about how Netflix, who is a behemoth of a company that was once a really strong ally in the fight to protect net neutrality, decided that this time around they're going to back down from the fight against net neutrality because they're big enough to where it just doesn't concern them now. And that's disappointing because Netflix has a lot of legitimacy, and if they say that we should protect net neutrality, then people are going to be inclined to listen to them because there's a lot of people that like their service, and rightfully so. Netflix is awesome. I think many of us have Netflix subscriptions, so it's important for Netflix to get involved because they're able to galvanize public support in favor of net neutrality. But even though it's disappointing that they're not participating this time around in the fight to save the internet, there are other companies that have decided to step up to fill the void left by Netflix. So on July 12th, there will be an internet-wide day of action to save net neutrality, which is organized by fightforthefuture.org. So they explain that on July 12th, websites, internet users, and online communities will come together to sound the alarm about the FCC's attack on net neutrality. We'll provide tools for everyone to make it super easy for your followers/visitors to take action. From the SOPA blackout to the internet slowdown, we've shown time and time again that when the internet comes together, we can stop censorship and corruption. Now we have to do it again. And they go on to explain that net neutrality is important because the internet has thrived precisely because of net neutrality. It's what makes it so vibrant and innovative, a place for creativity, free expression, and exchange of ideas. Without net neutrality, the internet will become more like cable TV, where the content you see is what your provider puts in front of you. Now, the companies participating include Amazon, Etsy, Kickstarter, Mozilla, Vimeo, GitHub, Reddit, the ACLU, BitTorrent, Chess.com, DuckDuckGo, Greenpeace, Imager, MoveOn, The Nation, and Patreon, among others. So, we might have lost Netflix, but we've just gained a whole new slew of gigantic allies, and this is something that makes me incredibly happy and a little bit more optimistic about the internet's future. So according to The Guardian, Evan Greer, campaign director of Fight for the Future, said the internet has given more people a voice than ever before, and we're not going to let the FCC take that power away from us. Massive online mobilization got us the strong net neutrality protections that we have now, and we intend to fight tooth and nail to defend them. Michael Che, general counsel of Vimeo, said net neutrality made it possible for Vimeo, along with countless other startups, to innovate and thrive. The FCC's proposed rollback of the 2015 Open Internet rules threatens to impede that innovation and allow a handful of incumbent ISPs to determine winners and losers. Global tech companies, including Google, Netflix, and Twitter, joined a similar day of protest in 2014, helped push the FCC to reclassify broadband under Title II of the Telecommunications Act, a move that banned internet service providers from creating fast lanes or slow lanes for services, a situation that critics argue would allow them to pick winners and losers. So we have a ton of huge allies that are going to fight with us to preserve net neutrality, and that to me is very exciting, but I haven't even gotten to the biggest ally that we have and that we certainly need. It's you. These companies can only do so much, but unless millions of people rise up to respond to the FCC, these companies will not make a difference. So here's what you can do. You can go to battleforthenet.com and sign up to join the protest. And we don't have much details about the specifics of the protest yet, whether or not we're going to be marching or we're going to be doing a protest through the internet by blacking out our profiles or something. But regardless, go there and sign up, and they will contact you about the day of action, and it's incredibly important. This right now should be our priority. This is not just about the internet, this is about democracy. The internet has become so crucial to democracy that if we lose it in this day and age, then we lose democracy. Let's just face it. That's not hyperbolic. We lose democracy because we no longer can get independent news information from the internet. We're forced to rely on the mainstream media. And Comcast, who's the parent company of mainstream media outlets like MSNBC, well, what do you think they're going to do to all their customers? They're going to make sure that the smaller independent websites that you get your news from, that you get independent, objective analyses from, aren't going to be able to compete with the likes of MSNBC. So this is a fight for democracy. This isn't just about the internet. So If we save the internet, we can save democracy. So this takes all of us rising up and not being complacent, because if there's ever a time that we needed to come together and fight, it's right now. This is a fight that concerns conservatives, liberals, progressives, and everyone on the political spectrum. So unless you're wearing a suit and tie and you work at the head of one of these companies like Verizon, AT&T, you will be harmed by the lack of net neutrality. So let's all come together. Let's fight and let's save the internet once and for all.
Support this podcast by joining the independent progressive media revolution today at humanistreport.com.